Today we will learn about the economic and ecological future of medicinal and aromatic plants. For thousands of years, people have taken useful plants from forests for medicine, flavors, perfumes, and health products. Now, because demand is increasing very fast, we need to shift from wild collection in forests to organized farming on fields. This change is important for two main reasons. Economy: medicinal and aromatic plants can give good income to farmers and support many industries such as Ayurveda, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. Ecology: if we take too many plants from forests, we damage biodiversity and destroy habitats. Cultivating them on farms can protect wild species. This presentation focuses mainly on India, which has rich biodiversity and a fast-growing Ayush sector. Basic concepts in botanical science. To understand the topic, we must first learn some key terms. Medicinal plant. A medicinal plant is any plant species that can help in treating or preventing diseases in humans or animals. These plants can positively affect our body systems and are widely used in traditional medicine systems like Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. Aromatic plant. Aromatic plants are plants that have a strong, pleasant smell. Their aroma comes mainly from essential oils stored in different parts of the plant, such as leaves, flowers, or bark. Examples include lavender, mint, and lemongrass. Essential oils. Essential oils are volatile, easily evaporating. Oils extracted from plants, usually by steam distillation. They have a low boiling point and carry the plant's characteristic fragrance. These oils are used in perfumes, aromatherapy, cosmetics, food flavoring, and sometimes in medicines. Active constituent and official part. The active constituent is the specific chemical compound in the plant that produces the desired medicinal effect. For example, menthol in mint or curcumin in turmeric. The official part of the plant is the part that is officially recognized for use in medicine because it contains enough active constituent. It may be the root, leaf, bark, flower, seed, etc. Important point: aromatic plants can also be medicinal, but not every medicinal plant has a strong aroma. So, all aromatic plants are a subset of medicinal plants only when they have healing properties. Problem: dependence on wild harvesting. Currently, the global supply chain for medicinal and aromatic plants is heavily dependent on wild harvesting. More than 90% of medicinal and aromatic plants, MAPs, are still collected directly from forests instead of being grown on farms. This means local people go into forests and gather roots, barks, leaves, or whole plants. Worldwide, the total area linked to MAPs is about 242 million hectares, but only 50 million hectares are under active cultivation. So, a very small portion is actually farmed. The rest is still wild-sourced. This is dangerous because overharvesting can lead to the extinction of some species. It can damage forest ecosystems, affecting animals, soil, and water. The supply becomes unstable. If forests are degraded, industries depending on these plants will suffer shortages. Therefore, to protect nature and to ensure a reliable supply, we must shift gradually towards sustainable cultivation of these plants. India's botanical biodiversity. India is one of the richest countries in the world in terms of plant diversity. Key facts: India has 16 distinct agroclimatic regions, from cold mountains to hot deserts, from coastal areas to tropical rainforests. This variety of climates allows many different plant species to grow. India is recognized as one of the 17 mega biodiversity centers of the world. These are countries that together hold the majority of Earth's species. India holds about 7% of the world's total biodiversity, even though it covers only around 2.4% of the world's land area. This means our biodiversity is very dense and unique. The country is home to more than 8,000 species of medicinal and aromatic plants, MAPs. These species occur in almost every type of ecosystem: the Himalayas, rainforests, deserts, marine and coastal regions, and more. Because of this rich natural heritage, India has a huge potential to become a global leader in the cultivation, processing, and export of medicinal and aromatic plants. The Ayush economy and its demand. Ayush stands for Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. These are India's traditional systems of medicine and health. The Ayush economy is growing rapidly and creates a big demand for medicinal and aromatic plants. Main points. Ayush systems support more than 30,000 branded products and around 1,500 traditional products. All these products need a constant supply of quality medicinal plants. India contributes about 17% to the global MAP business, showing its strong role in the world market.
The Ayush sector accounts for around 2% of global trade in MAPs and 0.4% of global trade in essential oils. There is still a lot of room to grow these percentages through better cultivation and value addition. India's exports from the Ayush and MAP sector generate about 7,883 crore rupees in value, along with a large domestic market inside the country. This creates jobs for farmers, collectors, processors, traders, and many others. So, the Ayush economy is not only about traditional healthcare, it is also an important economic engine that can promote rural development and sustainable agriculture. Jammu and Kashmir, treasure basket of medicinal plants. Jammu and Kashmir is often called a treasure basket of medicinal plants. Because of its diverse geoclimatic zones, the region supports more than 1,100 medicinal species divided into three main zones. Zone 1 Jammu, subtropical, around 514 ethnomedicinal species. Zone 2 Kashmir, temperate, about 415 ethnomedicinal species. Zone 3 Ladakh, alpine cold desert, nearly 347 ethnomedicinal species. Together, these zones make J&K one of India's most important regions for medicinal plant diversity. Traditional medicine and regional geography. Traditional medical systems here are closely linked with local geography and culture. Jammu Ayurvedic system follows Ayurveda, the classical Indian medical tradition. Kashmir Unani Tib, based on the Greco-Arabic medical tradition, widely practiced in the Middle East and South Asia. Ladakh Sovarigpa, Amchi, derived mainly from the ancient Tibetan medical system, using many high-altitude herbs. These examples show how local climate, local plants and local knowledge together create strong regional health traditions. Conservation efforts and institutions. This region is also sensitive because 11 of India's 29 banned MAP species occur here. Several initiatives work to conserve the ecology and support sustainable use. Pillars of support. Historical precedent. The Kut Act, 1978, laid early legal foundations for medicinal plant conservation. Modern interventions. CSIR Aroma Mission, Purple Revolution, promotes large-scale cultivation of lavender and other aromatic crops. CSIR J&K Arogya Gram Yojana encourages village-level cultivation of medicinal plants. HUD, Holistic Agriculture Development Program of J&K, includes medicinal and aromatic crops as a key component. Key organizations: J&K Medicinal Plant Board, Regional Facilitation Center, North 2, National Institute of High Altitude Medicinal Plants. Together, these efforts support both conservation and farmer adoption of MAP cultivation. Why shift to commercial cultivation? The long-term solution is to shift from wild collection to commercial, farm-based cultivation. Main benefits: conserves endangered wild species, produces uniform, high-quality raw material, creates direct income and employment for farmers, enables value addition through local processing like drying and distillation, uses waste and marginal lands productively, ensures a stable raw material supply for the Ayush and herbal industry, increases export revenue and foreign exchange earnings. Commercial cultivation, therefore, supports environmental protection, rural livelihoods and industrial growth at the same time. Cultivation footprint across India. Different regions of India are suited to different MAP crops. Temperate North India lavender, pyrethrum, clary sage, kut. Indo-Gangetic belt mints, damask rose, tulsi, ocimum spp. Northeast India citronella. Western and Central India ashwagandha, sena, isabgol. Southern India lemongrass, rosemary, geranium, patchouli. This mapping shows that almost every part of India has a comparative advantage for some group of medicinal or aromatic crops. Integrating MAPs into modern farming. Medicinal and aromatic plants can be integrated into existing agricultural systems, not only grown in separate fields. Lower strata planting, shade-tolerant herbs and shrubs grown under taller trees. Intercropping, MAPs planted between rows of plantation or orchard crops. Mixed systems combining medicinal trees with regular food crops. Forest integration, Tonga system, crops grown in early years of forest plantations. Perimeter growth using home gardens, field borders and boundaries for high-value MAPs. Land reclamation, planting hardy MAP species on wastelands to restore soil and earn income. These models support sustainable agriculture, better land use and greater farm biodiversity. National level support system. India has a strong institutional framework to promote MAP cultivation. Ministry of Ayush, Government of India overall policy and regulation for traditional medicine and medicinal plants. National Medicinal Plant Board, NMPB, New Delhi coordinates schemes, funding and technical guidelines. J&K Medicinal Plant Board focuses on planning and support within Jammu and Kashmir. Regional Com Facilitation Center, North 2, Kashmir provides training, field support and coordination on the ground. This ecosystem makes it easier to scale up cultivation and conservation efforts across the country. Conclusion. To conclude, medicinal and aromatic plants are vital for traditional and modern healthcare, as well as for several industries. The world is still overdependent on wild harvesting, which threatens forests and rare species. India, especially regions like Jammu and Kashmir, holds exceptional biodiversity and traditional knowledge. By promoting scientific, sustainable and commercial cultivation, we can protect endangered species, provide better livelihoods for farmers, secure a steady supply of raw material for the Ayush sector, and strengthen India's role in the global herbal economy. As future professionals and citizens, we share the responsibility to support the sustainable cultivation, wise use and long-term conservation of these valuable plant resources so that both people and the planet remain healthy in the years to come. See you in the next lecture. Till then, keep learning and keep growing.